Call of Duty is a popular first-person shooter franchise with over 10 games in its mainstream releases, although the games rarely ever delve into anything supernatural. There are some times where the developers love to poke fun at their fan bases, and the following will mention 2 games in the franchise where I've discovered some eerie occurrences. Call of Duty World at War was released on multiple systems in late 2008 by Treyarch Studios. It is widely known for being one of the darkest games in the history of the Call of Duty series, and Treyarch did everything in their power to play on that tactic. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was released on multiple platforms in 2011 by Infinity Ward, working alongside Sledgehammer Games. Unlike your average Call of Duty Creepypasta, these are all true stories, and if you pick up a copy of the game, pop the shining disc into your console. You too can find these eerie surprises in places you'd least expect. Creepy secret number 1, the Dome World at War. The Dome is a multiplayer map based on the final section of the campaign. The rooftop and dome of the Reichstag as seen in the Russian campaign level, Downfall. Most players looking for a casual multiplayer game may not find this, but if you enter spectator mode or you drop into the abyss in the center of the room, you can begin to hear the sounds of the chanting Russians as heard in the last moment of the campaign. But wait, that's not all. If you go to the edge of the map near where the Nazi flag hangs over the building, if you wait, you can just barely make out the sounds of one of Adolf Hitler's famous rally speeches, the Fuhrer rambling on to a war-torn and eerily empty city. Creepy secret number 2, the Asylum, World at War. The Asylum, another creepy multiplayer map based around the Russian campaign mission, Ring of Steel. It is what you'd expect, a creepy, dirty, ruined mental institution. The Asylum, like the Dome, is actually home to not one, but 2 different instances of creepy occurrences. The first that will be mentioned lies upstairs. In order to access it, you must be in spectator mode, although a friend and I have managed to glitch out of the map into the floor upstairs. Wander around and you will begin to hear strange piano music, with no true source. We scouted out the entire floor, searching for the source of the sound, but once we reached the point where it was loudest, there was not a soul in sight, nor a musical instrument. The second occurrence is a little easier to find, but if you aren't paying attention, you might just miss it. To reveal this creepy incident, you must find your way through the labyrinthine halls of the shell of a building and into the lavatories. If you walk near the stalls, you may just pick up the faint, disembodied sounds of a woman crying, and a man with a deep voice speaking to her in an unknown language. Creepy secret number 3, Cliffside, World at War. Venturing forth into another multiplayer map, the one secret I have found in here is by far the eeriest, frightening enough that I despise going on this map. Why is it so terrifying, you ask? Well, there is an area of the map, an ancient Japanese tomb near the edge of the map. The area itself already has a creepy atmosphere, an open, above-ground, empty coffin set into a dark, dank, and grimy concrete tomb. However, the atmosphere isn't all that gives this area such a frightening feeling. It's the beast that lurks within. I stumbled across this secret while I was using the bunker to snipe in, waiting for the other players in the match. I began to hear a voice, like some kind of chanting. At first, I thought it was the music, but it got louder and more pronounced. Curious, I explored the chamber, finding that the source of the sound was emerging from the open, empty casket, and it was indeed a male, very deep voice chanting ominously in an unknown language. Creepy secret number 4, Campaign Little Resistance, Ray Gun, World at War. Surely everyone who has played Call of Duty World at War's campaign has used the Easter egg ray gun weapon in the second campaign, as well as second American mission, Little Resistance. Surely after arriving on the beach near the beginning of the level, you'll find yourself on a wide but thin expanse of sand. There are craters pockmarked into the ground. This Easter egg, if you have never followed a guide, might not have been experienced unless, of course, you just enjoyed randomly jumping in and out of craters. Anyway, to get to the ray gun, you must start off near a crater on the rightmost side of the beach. You must jump into the crater for a few seconds before jumping out again. You must do this repeatedly, hopping from one crater to the next, making your way towards the left side of the beach. When you reach the final crater, you need to look forward and wait for a few seconds. You will begin to hear a strange rumbling sound. The world will shake, and you will hear several demonic voices chanting in another unknown language as stone food dogs rise from the ground in front of you, each one holding a ray gun in their mouths. Creepy Secrets number 5. Campaign, Vendetta, Ghost Sniper, World at War. This secret may be more of a case of the developers think of everything, and less of a creepy goings-on in a World of War II first-person shooter game. But when you think about it, it's still quite eerie. The first Russian campaign mission, called Vendetta, is a stealth-based mission set in a heavily glitchy map. Because of the outrageous amount of glitches, there are several points where it is quite easy to glitch outside of the map's boundaries. Doing this may seem all fun and games, no pun intended, until a ghost sniper begins to shoot at you. Yes, there is an actual invisible sniper that will shoot and kill players who manage to glitch outside of the map. Creepy Secret number 6. Nazi Zombies, World at War. Although one would think of Nazi zombies and laugh their asses off since it's been turned into nothing more than a shooting range with smarmy remarks made by unknown NPCs. However, when Treyarch released Nazi Zombies as a playable mode for the very first time, it surely frightened a number of players. My instance, when I first bought the game, I had no access to the internet at that point in time, so I had no guide. I had finally managed to beat the final mission and was letting the credits roll. At about 1:45 in the morning, I fell asleep during the credits, only to wake up a few minutes later to the insane, wild laughter as it tossed me into Nazi Zombies. Creepy Secret number 7. Sanctuary Spirits, Modern Warfare 3. The 7th and final secret I will be mentioning is not from Call of Duty World at War, but actually from Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games' Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This secret actually came as a bit of a surprise, and I accidentally discovered it while I was playing the Sanctuary multiplayer map. Because most of my sniping outposts have been discovered by my brother, I had to resort to using the grasses around the complex, and there are a couple of points on the map marked by purple flowers where, if you lay prone in them, you can hear the ghostly voices of the family that had been killed in the campaign mission Davis Family Vacation, reliving their last few minutes of life.